running fans, jumping fans, throwing fans, all around athletics fans. Welcome to Talking in Ovals. How is everybody doing out there on this Tuesday, January 20th, 2026? Hi, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well. I'm getting ready for this Arctic freeze that's coming next week and figuring out how I'm going to get all my workouts in for all my kids.
I mean, it's weird because there's like a few different models floating around, and they
I
always have
know.
like the three different
Like
models, and like two
0
of them,
to 20 inches.
two of them they're predicting like Armageddon for
I
the
know.
Northeast, and then like the European model, which
It's
has
like,
apparently been the most accurate
yeah, it's like,
over the last like this season, is
they're all
like,
southern.
yeah, it's like it's gonna miss all of us here.
Carolinas is going to get.
You guys might get nicked over in Jersey,
Right,
like we might all get like an inch or two,
right.
but like all
Or
the other models are
25
like,
inches.
I'm getting a feet, you're getting 20 inches. Like we're just like all gonna, I don't know. I don't know. That's
Not
gonna
just
be
that, it's just trick, but because now, like, you're not allowed to bring your team out if it's under a certain temperature. So it's trying to figure out how we're going to get all these workouts in.
well, we could always bring back that one video of the two runners that were like talking about how cool it is to run in the snow and it's great weather, and then they run away and the woman just like eats it and like hurts her back.
I have seen
Like
that one. Yes.
that one was, and it's like we've all done it. We've all been like the
Sure.
idiots that run in the snow, and then like
Absolutely.
one of us always eats it, and it's like, yeah, we probably shouldn't have done 6 in the snow. We're not
You
that
have
smart.
to.
You
You have to.
But we appreciate everyone that's watching, wherever you're watching from. X, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Kick. Thank you very much. Make sure you smash the like button and you click subscribe if you haven't already. And then go follow us at Talking in Ovals everywhere on social media. We are unique. There is no other Talking in Ovals, damn it. We are it. But before we get into the fun stuff, last week we had a great time talking to, I think it's safe to call him the legendary CBA coach, Sean
Hey,
McCafferty. I think he's getting to that
he's doing
level.
legendary things.
I mean, he was just the NXN coach of the year, right? Didn't he win that this past year? So we didn't even mention that last week. But it was cool talking to him, talking about just a different perspective that he had of CBA's XC season as the coach.
Right.
That's the one thing I took away the most from it, Dave, is we were like all season long praising everything CBA is doing, how deep they are. And then to hear him going, nah, it was kind of disappointing on our end until the end. It's like, what? Like I was like, that was
Listen,
like, whoa.
when you're at that high of a level, like you have expectations, and if they're not met, you let it be known. I mean,
There are
great.
levels to this. Yes, there are
Yes, there
absolutely levels to
certainly
this.
levels. Yes.
But it was cool. Everyone definitely go back, give that a watch, give it a listen, and also take note of just the passion he has for his athletes. Like he mentioned so many times, like
All
his
about love.
coaching styles through love. They,
Yep.
they preach team love and that they're there for each other. And it's not that hard ass style that we've always been used to. So it was cool to see someone at such a high level.
And it was
preaching,
cool, just
yeah.
to hear how he's adapted and he's changed that, saying
Yes.
how when he first started coaching, it was hard. And now he's, because every good coach has to adapt to what's new
100%.
and to what works.
Definitely. But this week, we're excited to bring back one of the guests that keeps on wanting to come back on our show for some reason. And he definitely helps us out much more than we do for him. And he's the man, the myth. He is Jeff Benjamin. He's a senior writer for RunBlogRun. He's, part of Staten Island Now, puts on the awesome gala, runs everywhere, and has at every major event you could imagine. Jeff, what's going on?
How you doing, guys? Good to see you. And yeah, I see we're all decked out for the Arctic blast that's coming, right? Although it's probably already come already.
It was freezing today. That's all I know. It was
Oh yeah.
brutal.
I saw, I think either tomorrow or the next day, the low is going to be 0.
Next week, it's like high of like 20 next week.
Yeah.
But my thing is like, just don't put 0. Either put 1 or -1. Like I hate 0. I hate seeing that. It's like such a terrible look. And like we're also not on like the metric system or anything, so we don't go like 0 is not freezing for us. 0 means like near death. 32 is freezing, so don't give me 0. Give me negatives instead. Like I don't know. Like,
and one thing I learned is we were all wondering what's going to happen this weekend. The only job in the world that you can never be fired for being wrong is the weather person.
Meteorologist is, I don't know why I didn't get into that because it is. You just have to look good and
meteorology and politician. Right. Those are the two ones that you can quite literally lie all the time and you get upgraded. Like, oh, listen, you don't want me to go into my conspiracy theory about how like meteorologists are paid by like big supermarket to like make to make these seem terrible. So everyone goes and buys up everything at the supermarket, and then all of a sudden it's like one snowflake.
Oh, it's gonna
Like-
be mobbed. Like I'm not even going to Costco because
Yeah, well,
no.
I happen to live in a borough that's kind of unique. Sometimes they predict 1 inch and Costco is jammed up.
I mean, I got 2 of the smallest bags of salt of all time for like $20 at the gas station. I'm like, man, what are we doing here? But anyway, so I want to get down to business. So every week we get our PRs. And Coach Figueroa over at Red Arrow, Red Arrow Running Club, is always great sharing them with us. So I want to bring them in, and we always like to have our guests here because Jeff, I want you to kind of give us your insight on these as well. So Coach Figueroa writes, long weekend, gentlemen. Sorry getting the PRs over so late. It's okay, Coach. We were a day late anyway.
Yeah.
Was at the University of Michigan Saturday, watching some really fast college races. And then we had the University of Michigan High School Showcase on Sunday with some 1 mile PRs. This weekend, we'll be back at Grand Valley State U with the full team. So a whole bunch of miles here. So all ladies as well. So freshman Tala Carlin ran a 5:30.75. Freshman Lydia Dwyer ran a 5:32.67.
Very good.
Yeah, 7th grader Allison Cassiano, a 5:41.96, just burning up the track.
I take that.
Freshman Vittoria Pericetti. Listen, I can do the Italian names. Vittoria Pericetti, a freshman, ran a 5:42.78. And then I think there's a relation here. 12th grader Beatrice Pericetti ran a 5:43.10. So ladies,
Run, ladies.
fantastic job. When you're dipping under 6 like that and you're getting down like in early
Especially as
season,
7th grader,
a whole bunch of freshmen and 7th
freshman,
graders,
7th
like
grader, yeah.
awesome.
I would take that on my team in a heartbeat.
I think there's a lot of teams, especially a whole stacked group of freshmen like that in 7th grade. I think they're doing pretty well. So congrats, ladies. Thank you, Coach Figueroa, as always. And we encourage anyone that's listening, if you are a coach, a parent, an athlete, if you, you run a PR, a friend that runs a PR, anything like that, get in contact with us. Shoot us a DM on X or Facebook. You can email us, talkinginovals@gmail.com, and send us your PR. It doesn't have to be this fancy the way Coach Figueroa does it. Like we got to this format in the beginning. It was all listed out. Now he makes it nice and neat for us in this chart, but you don't got to do that. Just tell us where, how old they are, who they are, what they ran their time, and I'll be a happy camper and I'll happily give it a shout out. So send us your PRs, darn it.
Yep.
But Jeff, you had a little PR you wanted to talk about sort of a team way. So what do you got, Jeff?
Sure. Well, I'm a little biased. I'm a graduate of Susan Wagner High School. And in my bio, I put in 1982, we won the New York City Cross Country Championships. I was the 5th man on that team, running 16:59 5K, Van Cortlandt, and 13:47 2.5. But what's really great is whenever we have a reunion, I never pay because I'm the 5th man. How cool is that?
There you go.
You're only as good as the 5th man, supposedly. That's what
that is the rule of XC.
Yeah. But about
your 5th man's only as good as their 6'7", because that 6'7" needs to keep clipping at the heels.
Yeah, but about 20 years
Damn it,
ago,
Dave.
the program was taken over by a new coach, John Padula. And John has risen the program there to spectacular heights. Running, jumping, throwing, they seem to excel at everything. And we have I mentioned this in previous broadcasts, we're the only borough in the 5 boroughs that has a true borough championship, the Island Championships in cross country, indoor, outdoor. And that's all the public, all the private, all the Catholics, all together in one meet. And the other 4 boroughs can't get it done, but we do. And a lot of bragging rights on the line and things like that. And this past weekend was the Island Indoor Champs, where my old school, Susan Wagner, the boys and the girls, took home the team title. And that's the first time that has ever happened in the 58-year history of the Island Association.
It's very cool,
man. That's great. Yeah,
John
absolutely.
Who really makes Susan Wagner alumni very proud and thrilled to see these kids excelling.
Listen, there is nothing better. Go ahead, Dave. There's nothing better than seeing your alumni do well. Like I still talk to a lot of guys that I went with. It's just there's nothing better than having that pride of your own school. Like I don't coach at my old school, but if I see someone from there running well, I'll congratulate them, or I'll go up to the coach, because you just have
this
pride.
It's in the blood. It's in the blood.
Absolutely.
I mean, I think one of the coolest parts of doing this show is like we also get to interview some of the greats, or some of the ones, like if they're doing some cool things. Like obviously we talked to Marco here. We had a bunch of the great Manchester runners and things like that on here. So we have that fun pride. And obviously, Dave, you're going through your Rutgers buddies. I've had on some Marist people. So we have like the benefit of all the schools that we're, attached to, that we can get back to. And Jeff, if you ever want to funnel any of your great high school athletes coming into our way from your alma mater, we'd be happy to talk to them.
Be my pleasure. Or any other, performances that come my way as well.
I love that. So I want to jump right into it. We had a notable death in the running family, in the running community. Fred Dwyer, a member, Jim Lambert wrote a great article on him, a member of 6 different Hall of Fames, incredible runner, a legendary coach, passed away. I think it was 2 weeks ago now, right? We didn't cover it last week. Fred passed away about 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
And I knew of Fred Dwyer. I did not know Fred. I actually never had the opportunity to meet him, but you're a runner in New Jersey. You know who he is. Like that name is floated around. And in the Northeast in general, he's one of the greats. So, Jeff, first off, do you have any memories of Fred that you want to share?
Sure. Way back in the last century, in 1996, the late, great Tom Fleming, 2-time winner of the New York City Marathon and international coach, along with another high school coach, Mike Mielko, put on a running camp for a week in the summer at Newark Academy. And there was a time when Coach Dwyer came and really motivated. These were kids of all ages, mostly 6th grade and up, which is unusual for that time period. Sure. Usually that time period, in the 90s, mostly high school and up.
Sure.
But we had 6th grade and up, and Coach Dwyer came. He was great. He gave these speeches where Tom whispered to me, he goes, after hearing him, you definitely want to run through a wall, right? So, doing some research and stuff, great runner, always was in, I would always say, like, always in combat mode when he was coaching and competing, which a lot of the greats are. It's not a trait that's unusual.
I'm not sure he could coach today.
That's a good question, because I'll pass on the story. I did do a profile many years ago on Marty LaCouri and Jim Ryan, culminating with the Dream Mile in Philadelphia that I wrote for Larry Eder at American Athletics Magazine, now RunBlogRun. If you Google my name with LaCouri Ryan, the article is reprinted. And Marty, I guess, was a freshman, a sophomore and stuff, and he was really into guitar playing. He was in a band and all this stuff. It was the 60s. Everyone thought they were going to be the next Paul McCartney.
Absolutely. Why not?
And Marty said, Coach Dwyer sat me down and said, you really got to choose between one or the other. You can't really serve 2 masters, so to speak. And Marty did give up the guitaring, even though these days Marty does play guitars with little bands and little restaurants and bars down in Florida.
That's awesome.
Right? But
imagine that you're out to eat.
That was a mild story. But this past week, Walt Murphy's This Day in Track and Field. If everybody wants to Google that, it's a subscription service where Walt is like the living encyclopedia of this. Oh my God! And Walt put up a story where Marty was training in high school. He was supposed to run, I think, 10 miles, but it was snowing out and stuff. So Marty cut the workout short by 2 miles, went in the house. This was a Sunday. Dwyer goes by the house and sees Marty's mother and goes, hey, Marty's still out there? And she goes, nah, he cut it short 2 miles. It was snowing. And Dwyer said something that I don't think a lot of coaches could do today. He basically said, Mrs. LaCouri, your son should not eat anything until he gets out here and finishes the last 2 miles. Marty went out and did the last 2 miles.
Sure. That is old school, man.
And like I said, I don't know how many parents would be receptive to that kind of coaching motivation, as I like to call it.
Some would still.
Yeah, but I'm also from a time where if our relay team didn't run very well, say at the Penn Relays or something, we knew we had to find another ride home.
100%. Absolutely.
Or you were doing a workout, or you were doing a hard workout. You were doing something.
We used to have to run home from places if we didn't run well.
Until 2010, there might have been still coaches who did that. I don't know if it still goes on. Like I said, we're in a different world today.
Yeah, it's a very different world. And when it comes to athletes and things and coaches like Coach Dwyer, like you don't see them as often, right? Like we're getting there. We have a lot of greats, but that gritty story is the things that you have. Now I want to go to a few clips.
All right. Well,
go ahead, Dave.
I got some first. I just want to say, like I grew up hearing stories of Fred Dwyer and Gagliano because my coach went to Roosevelt Catholic, his brother went to Essex Catholic, which is where Dwyer coached, and just to hear these stories from and just like, it's just amazing. And then to know that he coached Marty LaCour, and then he coached Joe Savage at Manhattan after Joe Savage went to Roosevelt Catholic and ran for Gags. And then just to know that him and Gags coached together at Manhattan. It's just, if you're from Jersey and you don't know who Essex Catholics is, like picture CBA just, in that era. Like they were a dynamic, them and Roosevelt Catholic were just some of the most dynamic, wonderful teams and running times that still hold up by far to this day.
Yeah,
and
world record,
legend, absolute legend. Yep.
Tony
4x1 mile record. Yep, absolute legend.
Yep. John Lovett. Yep, absolutely.
So yeah, I just want to give a quick shout out to Manhattan University, just like the legends that have gone through there. Yeah, because they're a university now, because everyone's apparently a university now. Not Marist University, like we all decided to jump in and do it. But shout out to them because we've had some Manhattan greats on the show. And just shout out to them for just how many amazing, especially Northeast talent has gone through that school. And even when I was at Marist, like that program was a program to be reckoned with, and they still are. That is a program to be reckoned with. So,
and Coach Dwyer was the one who was the catalyst to kind of start all of that.
Fantastic. So I want to watch here. Dave sent this. It's a 1.5-minute clip. It kind of shows Coach Dwyer, his time, and just all the other different things going on.
Madison Square Garden, New York, and highlights of the 65th Indoor Track and Field Championships of the Amateur Athletic Union. It's a breeze for Harrison Dillard in the high hurdles, unbeaten in 29 starts over a 3-year span. The Olympic
I want that back. Hold on, real quick. They just disappeared. I want that back. That's awesome. Like, what are we doing? What's the Armory doing? Like, what they need a whole. They need like a.
This is at the Garden.
I know, but the Armory needs to do this. Like, because now it's all at the Armory. Like, that's awesome. We need a hole for the.
I just love that they have this. I mean, Harrison Dillard, another absolute legend. But this is just great. Just watching this coverage, and just the commentator is my favorite.
I feel like if we had this music back with coverage, so many more people would like track again.
To a 5-foot victory. A freshman at Penn provides the big upset of the meet. Young John Haynes of Lansdowne, PA, defeating the veteran Andy Stanfield in the 60-yard
names.
dash. Still after the world's record, the vaulting vicar, Bob Richards, goes over at 15 feet and 1.5 inches. That's a long way from the record, but keep trying.
It's a long way from the record, but keep trying.
Using a leather-covered shot, Perry O'Brien of the Los Angeles Athletic Club tosses his novel 16-pounder, a hefty 55.
Well, they were throwing at the Garden. They didn't want to ruin the floor.
Yeah, but it's just crazy. Like,
there's the mile.
The mile and a big field of 13 getting away. 13 sounds unlucky for somebody, and it was. Unlucky for the old miler maestro, Fred Wilt, the Flying G-Man, the favorite. Being passed by the up-and-coming Fred Dwyer of Villanova.
There we go.
He's out to stretch his string of mile victories to 6.
God, Villanova, too. How many greats have gone through that school?
Minor collisions mark Dwyer's progress toward his goal. Again, blame it on number 13, if you will. No records are in danger. The time is slow comparatively. The result, so they say, of a tactical race necessitated
this
by the
looks like a Super Nintendo coverage, too, just how it's like you could barely see their arms moving.
Dwyer wins, first collegian to win the indoor mile crown in 10 years.
So that's really cool stuff right there.
Man.
Great stuff. Great stuff.
It's just great that. Thank you, YouTube, and someone for uploading it to be able to have all these wonderful races still at our disposal. That's great.
And Jeff, I want to pull up this right here, and this picture. It might be a little hard to see, so let me try and make it bigger. But Jeff, you had a story about the 1955 Wanamaker Mile over at the Millrose Games, which is coming up soon, and there is our Fred Dwyer there.
Yeah, in the
what
battle,
was going on here?
In the battle for second place off the final turn, he and Wes Santee, Dwyer got pushed out but there was some fists flying as they were running. And some people have called it to this day the Wanamaker Brawl.
That's great, man.
Another great name, Wes Santee. What a fantastic runner.
From Kansas, man.
By the way, just to let you know, sportsmanship, when this race was over, as time went on, there are a lot of photos of them shaking hands, and being gentlemen to each other. It's just, you're in as Sebastian,
you're in the heat of battle.
You're in the field of combat. You know,
absolutely.
So you can leave it there, but then once the race is over, you get back to your regular mode.
Yeah, 100%. And you got a lot of athletes that can turn it on and off. So, just rest in peace to the great that is Fred Dwyer.
Yep.
Gave us a lot of memories.
94 years of just, I mean, what a life, man. What a life.
A lot of memories on the track, a lot of memories as a coach, and, obviously giving his time to going to the youth camps and things like that. And did a lot for the sport. A lot of things that a lot of people probably don't know that he did as well. So, rest in peace there. We just want to take some time to carve that out and talk about him there. So now I want to jump into the action that happened over the weekend. Jeff, you were there. The World Cross Country Championships down in sunny Florida, United States.
I don't get everywhere, but when I
you're a lot of places, Jeff.
Well, you certainly have pictures with everyone.
Yeah, well, when my old pal Tony Galata, who ran for Port Richmond High School years ago, then Mansfield University with a great marathon coach, Ed Winrow. We've never really fallen out of our friendship, and we've never fallen out of the sport. And since
I don't know who gets more places, you or Dave Ross. I don't know who gets more.
Dave Ross gets around, man.
Yeah, you two are like who I always like to see. Like when I know a big event's going on, I'm like, all right, who's gonna get the picture up first? Is it Jeff or is it Dave? Who's getting it up?
Yeah. But Tony and I go back as friends 1981. So, like I said, we've never fallen out with the sport, and we've never fallen out with our friendship ever.
That's awesome.
So when we saw the World Cross Country for the third time ever, it was going to be in the United States. We're like, all right, we're going. And I'm not gonna like sugarcoat this at all right? I am well aware, and even when we were flying there, geez, Tallahassee? Like, really? And, listen, maybe we are biased. We are, the three of us here are definitely
Northeast.
Van Cortlandt, Holmdel, Sunken Meadow, Bowdoin Park.
Bowdoin, yep.
That's what cross country is, right?
That is like our realm of cross country. So, like we do have tunnel vision, and we're very guilty of it.
One thing I think we all turned our eyebrows up when we saw Florida, right? I think we all would have accepted if there was a venue in California, because California is legendary for XC as well. So
and
I think we would have been.
California's the history with the Kinney and the Foot Locker.
Yes, sure. I think we would have accepted that too as Northeasterners, because it's like, okay, that's another legendary spot.
Yeah, and we're like that's where our best kids go to run at Foot Locker. Like that's the destination where our best runners like to try to get to.
And I just think Florida was random because you think. Yeah. When you think Florida, you think Texas, you think Georgia, like at Louisiana, sprinters. You think sprinters, you think of that like more, like they have great distance runners.
Or a half miler,
But you think sprinting more. So that's kind of where I went when I heard that.
Right. But you know what though? Dynamics have changed, and things are always changing, things are always fluctuating. Okay. Was there a time where the colleges throughout the country flew to the Bronx to run at Van Cortlandt Park? Yes. Okay. And Steve Prefontaine, Jerry Lindgren, you had who's who of national runners, West Coast, Mid East, North, South, converging on Van Cortlandt. Whether it's economics, whether it's somebody's vision, there are people in these places now who've said, you know what, I want to design a cross-country course here. I want to put something here. And for better or for worse, as most of you guys know, cross-country, track, and field are always vulnerable in a college setting because they're not a profit-making venture,
No, they're not.
And to see a coach go to their AD or go to the college president and say, hey, can we get a trip to New York City for 3 days to run a Van Cortlandt Park? They're going to look at the budget for that. They might have a heart attack. I disagree, but that's reality. This is the reality we have to work with here.
Yes.
Okay? But if I put on my own cross-country meet, we could generate a lot of revenue just for us. So like I said, things have tilted, where now you really have a big argument. What's the toughest course out there? And everybody will, there'll be a variety of different opinions with things like that. Okay. I will say
Holmdel was voted it last year. Holmdel, New Jersey. So just voted last year. Out there, we get our clout.
It was voted last year.
25 years ago, when I was with Tom Fleming, I went for my first training run ever at Holmdel. Oh my God.
That first hill. That first hill's miserable.
You do Van Cortlandt, you run Bowdoin Park. They all have their things, so to speak.
The cardiac hill at Van Cortlandt is named that for a reason. There is a reason why it is named that, because that is a lot of runners that lose the race there.
Right.
So Jeff,
Go ahead.
The one thing that always gets me with the World XC is all the man-made obstacles.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is there not a place that has natural obstacles that they could go? Like, why did it to me, like that big green hill on TV, it almost looked like some like
it looked like it was just put there.
Reality show. Like some tough man race or something.
Maximum Extreme back in the day.
Like why does the water have to be dyed blue? Those are just things that I was just, it was great races, great. It just,
listen,
I don't know.
I agree with your point in ways, and to continue the story. Like I said, when Tony Gallardo and I were flying down to Tallahassee, we had doubts. And we also had doubts because here's Seb Coe with World Athletics coming again, hoping that something in the United States could really happen, on a huge level. Yep. Whereas, in 2022, we had the World Championships in Eugene.
So disappointing.
It was great if you were there, but they couldn't seem to fill up the stadium.
I know.
Okay. And this is a stadium.
Well, if you talk to Seb,
90,000 like Tokyo, whatever. But
so real quick, Jeff, if you talk to Seb again, tell him to stop going to Eugene. Okay, because people are tired of going to Eugene. It's expensive. It's hard to get to. Like World Athletics needs to figure out that there are other places to go to.
Yeah, the only thing they have going there is the Prefontaine Classic. And the World Athletics, I believe, Youth Championship might be.
Yeah, they have things.
Yeah, and I'm going to get into the hows and the whys with that.
Yeah, go ahead.
But we get off the plane, and unfortunately, Tony and I missed the press conference. We weren't designated to get there at the time. But reading stuff online. And, Seb said, I believe Tallahassee is the world cross-country capital of the world. And as I wrote my article, I'm like, is he really being a cheerleader here? And he was bashed on online. There are people who don't like him in the first place, whatever. But, this exacerbated it.
Well, if I'm in Europe, I'm going, we actually have a real circuit here. United States doesn't. So how are you going to call that a place? Like, once they get past college, there is no true pro XC circuit, where in Europe there is.
Yeah. So that Saturday morning of the meet, Tony and I are driving to the place. And we were there the day before, went over the course, saw all the crazy stuff, right? And we had a great prophetic thing happen. There was a traffic jam going back 2 miles getting into the park.
That's fantastic.
Then you got there. They have this giant high school band playing, 150 people playing, planes flying overhead, fireworks at the end, and you kind of saw a crowd was really coming in.
That's awesome.
Basically, you looked around, and they did announce that it was close to 10,000 spectators.
That's what I'm talking about for an XC race. That's
going to include the people who were there. Coaches, athletes, be like the whole deal. And it really is a credit to Amanda Heidecker down there and Taylor Wheaton, a partner, and a whole crew down there. They presented an event to World Athletics and said, this can work, okay? And they made it all-inclusive. You saw the mayor, congressional people, people of all types from the whole community and around it there. I bet that there was probably a good 30% of people there who had never been to a cross-country meet.
That's great.
Okay?
That's
but
fantastic.
The thing is, they really marketed, pushed it, and they're like, hey, for a $10 admission, you could come in and see the world's great. This is like an Olympics. Come on down.
So real quick, Jeff.
And they got
a question I have for you, because I know they did loops, right? What was it, like 5 loops for the race?
5 loops.
Yeah.
As a spectator, how good was that to see these athletes 5 times, where you're not running spot to spot in a traditional XC race?
And you were able to run from one part to the other side and get back.
Yeah, that's good.
So, which my pal Tony did some video as a super fan for Larry to RunBlogRun. He got him running through the water, and Larry was telling me that the video has over 120,000 hits.
There you go. It's pretty cool.
Now the obstacles, okay? Cross country in other parts of the world, like one of the most prestigious cross country meets is the Cinque Milani in Italy.
Mm-hmm.
You run through farmland, but then you also run through 5 windmills.
That's really cool.
You run through 5 windmills.
That's cool.
Billy Mills has won this race. Frank Shorter has won this race.
Wow.
Okay? Seb Coe's run it. Rod Dixon told me he was trailing Dave Bedford in the race. And as Dave went through the windmill, the wind blew and the door hit him in the face.
Oh, no.
Then he had to get up and continue running. Okay.
That's cross country, though. That is cross country.
People, the Spartan race, but the Spartan races involve hands and parts. Okay.
A little different.
I argue that all these cross country meets, whether it is in Tallahassee with the artificial stuff, or 1975 World Cross Country, where the great Bill Rogers got the bronze, was I think 7 laps of a horse track in Marrakesh, Morocco, where there were artificial hills and bales of hay.
Right.
So,
they've always done it.
You're always going to have obstacles of sort, and you could make
I kind of like
too when the World Cross Country was in Boston in Franklin Park, right?
Yeah.
Franklin Park, they didn't have to do anything. You just ran. And also, added to the luster that it was one of the coldest days of the year. It was funny, and there was a foot of snow on the ground. Okay, and if you guys ever see video or see photos of that, God, on their faces, their eyes are icicles.
Their beards freeze.
Yeah, but cross country, and you know what, Appalachia, challenging. I ran in the community run afterwards, the 1 lap. The next day they had the USATF Club Championships where I died of death. I was writing my obituary on the last lap, right? but it was really interesting. You got to set up obstacles, and sometimes they're not natural. But you know what? The Europeans, the Africans have always set up artificial stuff. 83, the first time the race was ever in the United States, was the Meadowlands horse racing track.
Yeah. Which I like that. I think that's pretty cool.
Fred LeBeau put bales of hay, ramps for him. So, there's a lot of improv going on. And listen, we could all but the greatest challenge for our sport is that the 3 of us here are lifers. I like to think most of the listeners are lifers as well. No matter what they do to our sport, if we don't like it, we're still watching it. Okay?
Yeah, unfortunately, yes.
Okay. We'll be, oh my God, I can't believe that person ran so fast. Oh, back then, blah, blah, blah. I get it. And, and social media has really hyped that up. But Sebco, World Athletics, along with all the other major sports, they want people who don't know much about it to get it. Okay. So like I said, in Tallahassee, we are like, hey, for $10, you can see the world's greatest runners here. Some are Olympic gold medalists. They're Olympians. Come on down. They made it a happening. Yeah. That's who these sports leagues all have to cater to. And like I said before, Heidecker and her crew, massively inclusive, super efficient. And Craig Virgin, who was there, the 2-time World Cross Country champion, the only American male to ever win it, and he won it twice in 80 and 81. Craig even said, he goes, they should have it here every year.
Yeah, listen.
Yeah, I mean, it'll only grow, right, if they continue to do that.
Tallahassee delivered. And before anybody says, oh, well, maybe we could have it in New York, maybe we have it in this. There's a bidding process involved with these things.
Okay? Do you want to have it in New York in January?
No. Yeah. And before you get pissed off at World Athletics, Google what a city has to bid to host the Super Bowl for the NFL. Okay?
Sure. Oh, yeah. No, it's normal that happens
that way. It's going to drive everybody nuts. You're going to be blown away by this, is that there are thousands and thousands of dollars towards the application fee.
Of course.
If you don't get it, you lose that money too.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. That's how it goes.
I mean, listen,
there's a processing fee, non-refundable. And if your city doesn't get the Olympic Games, you lost the processing fee.
I can imagine New York and Boston and all these places put in for this World Cross Country. They attempted. I can imagine they did.
You'd like to think so, but no, they really didn't.
And listen,
and it's funny because Tony and I were speaking. I think you guys would agree. My sources told me that Tallahassee ponied up somewhere between $1 million and $1.5 million.
Sure.
Okay?
Good for them.
Now,
listen,
think about it. In the world we're in, and we live in New Jersey, we live in New York City. Yeah. I think the 3 of us could get money. I think the 3 of us conceivably could do that, could raise that money to have it at Homedale, Van Cortlandt, whatever, right?
Homedale.
Then you need a committee, and you need volunteers, and you need a team. And the work is 24/7.
100%.
Plus, you know what?
I throw it out here to the viewers, basically. People complain. Instead of being a complainer, be a doer.
Yes, have a solution.
And that's and I admire the doers a lot. I try my best with my crew and Santa Running Association with the dinner we have. We're doers. We say, 100%. Hey, can we do this? Let's work on it. Let's get it done. And like I said, I can't say enough about Amanda Heidecker and a Tallahassee committee. They delivered. Okay.
Yeah.
They made Seb and World Athletics and USA Track and Field very happy. Believe me. And being around Seb at the meet, Seb was very, very happy. The one negative, though, that you guys should keep in mind is that according to the World Athletics calendar, the next time it's supposed to take place is 2029. And Craig Virgin says that's too far apart.
Why is it not every year?
Why so long?
Especially when Seb is going to Milano, Italy as an IOC member for the Winter Olympics to lobby to get cross country in the Winter Olympic Games.
That'd be awesome.
So is it possible Tallahassee could have it in 2027 and or 2028? Well, Craig Virgin said, well, they did it this time. It's like a dress rehearsal.
What drives
if you build it, they will come.
Yes.
People showed up. So
what drives me crazy.
And I did hear, unfortunately, and I don't want to watch it because I enjoyed it so much. I heard the television coverage was not that great. I heard the commentating, especially in Britain, was not that great. And so I could understand if people were watching parts of the world, but it's one of those things, we said, you had to be there.
Right.
What drives me crazy is that we know that the big events are the Olympics and the World Championships, and they try to do it every 2 years for those, right? They've had some overlay. The World Championships were twice, and that it is what it is. But why can't they just fit the XC Championships in those off years? That would be something to keep you would still get the big athletes. Like, you're telling me Jakob wouldn't go and enjoy that in an off year just to go and move his legs in an XC race, or even a Grant Fisher or something like that? I think they all would, because it's an off year. It's not a championship year.
They all love cross country.
Move our legs.
They all love cross country, and they all want to run. I mean, first of all, 10,000 people, we'd still have Grand Slam track if they had those kind of numbers.
Well, no, because they would decide to.
Also, you got to remember the admission fee of $10.
Right,
was a real smart move. $20, by the way, if you wanted to run that community run afterwards. Which, by the way, every finisher got a number. Every finisher got a medal. For the three of us, that's like a whoop-de-doo. But for those other people,
it's great.
Especially for the new people who get involved with the sport.
That's what we want.
Like I said, that's what we really want. Okay,
100%.
Purists. It's very hard to be a purist in running track and field, but you can make the same argument for all the other sports.
Well, we're also annoying. Purists are annoying because we want certain things and we don't understand that what we want might not be appealing to the common fan.
Yeah.
Like, we need to lower what our expectations are at times of events and the way things are going.
Right. And respectfully speaking, remember how many baseball players and fans were going nuts about the pitch clock, right? Well, now it's in, and nobody's complaining anymore.
I still hate it. I still hate it. I still think it's stupid. I hate the extra runner at second in extras, like all these changes. But here's the thing, like you said, if it makes the game a little bit quicker, which it hasn't really, it gets better. But like,
and if it draws people who don't watch it ever before, see, like that's the target audience going forward.
Sure, more people to fall asleep at baseball games is what we want, right? Everyone watches in the first, falls asleep, wakes up for the 8th.
Right. Even the NFL with their rule changes and overtime, and everything, but the ratings are through the roof,
we are gluttons.
These leagues have successfully toyed with the product. They have not broken it. Okay. They might have broken it for a select fewer people, but those few people, when you measure how many are now drawn in, that's the reality of what's going on.
Yeah, I think,
and
overall,
like with the money situation, yeah, I mean, I think New York City or parts of Jersey could get affluent people together, organizations. Yeah, you could get a world cross country championship.
The only problem, though, is that if you had it at like Homedale Park, like, it's not good for the spectators.
That's true too. Yeah, and here's another thing too. The people from World Athletics come and they check out the site. They, the whole presentation, and said Amanda Heidecker and her crew convinced them, and there was no BS involved. There really wasn't.
Van Cortlandt, you can get some good spots. You can watch a good amount of the race in Vanny. There's some good vantage points over at Vanny that I think you can, and you could possibly cut off. You don't have to do. You could do 2 laps. You could figure out a way because they've messed with that course so much. You don't have to do the true 8K and do the back hills. You can change some things.
It's funny. The one complaint I do hear from people at Van Cortlandt at major meets, parking.
Terrible, because they're right in the middle of the city.
And if you're trying to get casual fans, if you're trying to get the casual fans, you don't want a place where they have to be somewhat in shape to get from point A to point B. You would then be able to walk or like slightly jog to be able to see.
I love the concept of the horse track. I really think that could be, because, and the thing too is like, the more I think about it, I don't mind that the obstacles were like
I don't either.
colored because it's good for the athletes. So they obviously can see where the obstacles are and the fans can see where those obstacles are. You put it on a horse track. I think that's a cool idea. I would,
I want to
sit in the stands and watch the whole race,
man.
Windmills. As long as I could sit on top of the windmill and watch them as they try to go, like I would enjoy that.
Yeah,
horse. I think the horse track concept is good because every state has horse tracks. So now
there's stands.
Conceivably, there's stands. You could put people in the infield if you want VIP a little, set up some stands around, and you can watch the full race in every single part of it.
In 75 in Morocco and in 83 in the
that's a cool concept.
The crowd saw the whole race.
It's like cross country on a track almost. Right. It's like XC on a track.
Watching NASCAR.
Right.
It's watching NASCAR with humans and XC. Like that's a great concept. And I think too, like tactically, if you're doing a team thing, if it's just on a large horse track, the teams can work together in different ways.
And if you can just advocate, like I said, to the people who've never been there before, hey, come on down, $10 a head. What are you doing today anyway? And Tallahassee did a spectacular job. Spectacular job. I mean,
good to hear.
They delivered. They totally delivered. If there was any major screw up on their logistical end, I don't know about it. I'm sure they had a critique meeting afterwards.
Always.
But the fact of the matter is that are they the cross country capital of the world? Well, for one day they were. Okay. You don't see this kind of crowd. You don't see this kind of electricity very often. And That's awesome. It was there for all the elite races.
Now, Dave, on the TV end, what was your major complaint because there was a lot of complaints.
My major complaint
that the TV side lagged.
My major complaint was there was no team score. You had no idea who was. I mean, the fan who knows the sport could, from just watching so many races can kind of look it up, and add it up. But it was like there was no, like when you watch the NCAA's on ESPN, they're constantly updating team score, and like they only kept showing like top 10 people, like they didn't scroll past that. I don't know. It just, and I don't know. I felt like they didn't really have any close shots. Like there was a lot on the actual leaders, but there wasn't much of the actual, like I want to see Parker Wolf. I want to see Graham Blank. So I want to see.
You also want to see maybe where the other teams, number 3 runner is, number 4 runner.
Sure.
Is.
Track has that issue too.
And
Track has that issue a lot as well, where they don't show the field.
I felt like they talked about it exclusively almost in an individual perspective, and there wasn't much of the team concept, which is what most people are like. You're wearing USA because you're competing for your country. It's. I mean, yes, you want to win, but I guarantee if USA won, they would take that over getting first place as an individual. Like it's there for a team. So that's the only thing that I didn't like was a team, and but hopefully they will learn and they'll look at what ESPN does, and maybe they'll kind of try to emulate that some. Who knows?
Right. I will tell you, by the way, that the announcing at the meet itself, they had 3 giant television screens along the course.
That's freaking cool.
So, like you didn't necessarily have to run to the other side, right? And cool. They were big screens. And also, Paul Swangard of NBC was one of the announcers, and I believe it was Carrie Tollefson. Yeah. They were great. And when they were announcing, I was wondering if they were the ones who were on TV as well, but I believe the answer was no.
No.
So
who wasn't on TV, Dave?
I couldn't even. For a little bit, they had on Kenneth Beckley, who was very good, but it was just hard to understand with his accent. But I mean, he had a lot of good perspective, and it's Beckley, so that was cool. I couldn't tell you who the other people were. It was no one that I remember hearing. You get used to hearing the same voices. You watch it on NBC. You see you watch Grand Slam, and you see
you're listening to Otto, John Anderson, Sonia Richards-Ross. Like, and the thing is too, it's like I think that was almost a fumble. Like if you're going to do that, you should probably get some familiar voices. Some distance guys
like Goucher. I'm very supportive of her. She really does.
Yeah, Kara's fantastic.
She's beyond knowledgeable.
Kara's great.
Not only the athletes, but like when they make a move, what it does to the body, and all that stuff. She's really great analytically, and also like the knowledge she has of the athletes that she talks about.
Agreed.
Or when all else fails, just get a guy with a British accent, and automatically that guy sounds knowledgeable. That's it. A British accent dude, and all of a sudden you assume he just knows everything about what he's talking about.
But it's funny though, because Tim Hutchings won I believe, bronze medal in '83 in the medal race. In the world cross country. I mean, who better? And he does commentating. But like I said, that's not. Like I said, I can't answer for that. I can only answer for being down there where I was, and there's a lot of electricity in the air, and like I said, if done correctly, and you have a group of doers who are like fully committed and open-minded, and you could do amazing things. And that whole crew down there did amazing things.
What I like too is that like you can go down and make a weekend out of it. There's enough activity going on where it's not just like, oh, like I'm going down there for just one thing and that's it. Like you could say, hey, like I'm gonna bring my whole family, and like even if they don't want to go to cross country, there's other things that they could do. But,
for free parking and $10 to go
come on.
It's worth it. Let's go see this. And
you could bring your family to the World XC meet for cheaper than going to see a movie.
Right. And by the way, I have to give a special shout out. Villanova coach Marcus O'Sullivan got down to Arkansas to take Frank O'Mara, the legendary Irish runner who battles Parkinson's. They got in the car and drove to Tallahassee so that they could both be there for that.
That's incredible. Shout out there.
That is awesome. Wonderful. And it was great to see Frank. Frank was at our dinner this past year. And Marcus is a regular up here. So
he's great, man. He's
7-time want to make a mile winner.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. I mean, there's a reason why his Nova team is stacked with some of the Northeast best talent, as well as the nation. But God, he knows how to recruit around here.
My favorite collegiate runner now. I love Marco Lange, man.
There you go.
Marco's
that kid is a tough man.
Good.
Speaking of Wanamaker Mile, there's a big meet coming up, Alex.
There is. So let's pull up some Millrose stuff. We got the Millrose coming up soon. What's the date on the Millrose? Because I'm terrible.
I believe February 1st, right?
Yep. 2 weeks.
And, I did hear the news that it's sold out.
Yes.
Yeah, which is fantastic. And here's the thing, like we need to strike while the iron's hot, because these big events with these big star names are getting sold out. Mm-hmm. We're getting those types of things. And as long as the TV coverage or wherever it is follows, then we'll be in good shape. But right here, we're going to start off. We're going to run through a whole bunch of different events. We'll talk about them. So the ladies Wanamaker Mile here, there are some big names here. Jess Hull, Nikki Hiltz, Ellie St. Pierre, Sinclair Johnson, Dorcas Ewoy, like the who's who of the female milers. I mean,
and we have Ellie back. I mean, like Ellie, coming off the birth of her second child. I mean, she came back after the birth of her first child in spectacular fashion. So I'm sure she's going to be in great form. Sinclair Johnson, past guest here. Yep.
Cool Sinclair that 3 Johnson. Americans there, and like not just 3 Americans being put up there because they're American, but because those 3 ladies can win. Yeah. So Jeff, who do you got? Predictions. Who's winning this race?
I'm not a great fan of predictions. So, having
we're going to do them this whole time. So
I met all of these wonderful ladies. They're great, great people, great athletes.
Amazing.
I'd have to see first, before I pick one, Nikki Hiltz, Ellie Sinclair, probably Ellie. Are they running the New Balance meet first this weekend?
Right.
Because those 3 have not raced yet for the season. So New Balance is like an opportunity to be like, where am I now as I go to Millrose?
New Balance is going to be stacked. I mean, quick shout out to our past guest and a lady who I volunteer coach with me, Courtney Decker, running the mile in Boston this weekend, Masters Mile, looking to get around as 5 flat. She's in great shape. I've been seeing her workouts. She's ready to go.
Courtney's
fantastic. I mean, the one person I would think at this point, race sharp, just based. Jessica Hull, won her team title, for the at the World Cross Country, and an event that really, she doesn't really specialize in. Mm-hmm. And she dominated and won very well. And one thing I learned, and we're approaching the 10th anniversary, God, we're getting old, of Matthew Centrowitz winning the gold medal in Rio.
Oh my God, that's crazy to think.
Amazing, right? But like, I remember that year, Matthew did not lose. Like, winning became a habit. Whether the race was slow or fast, he won. Cole Hocker has the same thing, right? And you can make the argument, Jess won last week, and she sharpens up and now gets ready for Millrose. I don't know if she's running New Balance, but getting ready for Millrose, like you could argue that she's race sharp. But the one thing is, this year is a weird year in track and field athletics.
That's for sure.
There's no outdoor championship. Okay.
Nope.
So, so Josh Hoey, I'm going to go for a world record.
That's what I'm saying. This is going to be a world record kind of year.
800 this Saturday. Why not? Right?
Yeah.
I think this whole winter and spring is going to be just world record chasing, because
I think actually
it could happen early and early, and the people might even shut it down early because they're just going to get in shape, run fast, and then see you later.
I mean, you do have world indoor champs in Poland, right?
And we'll have a fun world indoor champs though. Yeah, there'll be actual names there this year because there is no world championships in outdoor that everyone's getting ready for.
Yeah. But having said that, though, I mean, this is an opportunity for these athletes to do it. It reminds me a lot of that magical year of 1981 when, there was nothing going on but the meets. And you had Seb Coe and Steve Ovett, smashing each other's mile world records. There was 5 times.
Yep.
And you could do that. It's like, you're competing, but you're kind of like running for records. It's a different kind of mentality. And you could argue a different kind of training method. So 100%. Going forward, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Here's the other thing, too. Let's say Sinclair or Ellie don't run well at the Millrose, want to make a mile, right? Season's not over. It's only February 1st. They are
early, 100%.
It all depends on, where these people are in their training.
Right.
And, how long, if they are peaking, how long can
they hold? It's fun.
So we're going to get through Jeff's political answer, and we're going to say he's picking Jess Hull because she is in the best shape. So
I'm going to go with Sinclair. I'm going Sinclair just because she was on our show. And
that's all right.
And she broke the American record last year.
It's on the day. You never know.
And she broke, she broke the American record last spring. She ran 4:16. So go with her.
Sinclair's fantastic. I think if Nikki is within striking distance, she's the best kicker in this field.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. You cannot leave Nikki any sort of grace. Like, I think it's rare that if Nikki's in a kicking position that she loses. So if they let Nikki hang around, I could see Nikki taking this race. And is it going to be 4:16? No, I think we're going to see around a 4:20, 4:21. Because they're in. Yeah. It's going to be fast for early, but God, it's early. I think we're going to see 4:20 is going to win it. Now, listen, I'm not leaving Dorcas out because Dorcas came on strong and is incredibly fast. So it's going to be interesting, but I think if they mess around early season, it's going to favor the kicker. So I could see Nikki taking this one early.
Here's another factor as well: the American athletes, right? Do you want to be ready for Millrose on February 1st? What about February 28th, which is the USATF Indoor Championships?
Yep.
I honestly
championships. By the way, held on Staten Island at Ocean Breeze. Right?
I actually feel like
is a long road. It at the highest level. So
I feel like more people would rather run and win Millrose than they would U.S. Nationals indoor.
Their contracts might say otherwise.
Like
it's true.
You don't see Yared a lot. Like you don't see a lot of the big names at the USTFs like you will. Millrose.
This may be a different year though, like we said, with no world championships.
Only indoors, indoor being the only worlds. We don't know. We just don't know.
This year might be just say like everyone's got like the indoor might. Yeah, I'm curious to see what happens.
Yeah,
so we're gonna jump here. We got a pretty good field though. Outside of Joe Kovacs, which I think people are going to expect Kovacs to win, we have Rajendra Campbell, Jamaica's reigning champion and bronze medalist. Josh Obatunde, 2025 U.S. champion. Trip Piperi, 2025 U.S. indoor champion. Roger Steen, the world indoor silver medalist. Chuck Ekegwechi, Nigerian African record holder. This is a stacked field, and Kovacs is going to have to throw well early, or he could take an L here. There's a lot of really good throwers in this field.
Yeah. Listen, Roger getting the silver, maybe he's more motivated to try to go for gold this time around.
Yeah. Listen, I think Joe's just gonna, I think every time Ryan's not there, he just has to try to capitalize because, it's, Krauser doesn't throw much, but he still proves every year that he's the guy.
He's always ready. He's always
ready. He always battles injuries, but he always gets stuff ready. And Joe's right there, probably top three or four throwers of all time. So,
before there was Ryan Krauser, Joe Kovacs was the dominant thrower, easily the best thrower on the planet.
Sure. And he's still right there,
If I don't see Joe Kovacs on the bar doing flips again, then I won't count it. It doesn't matter.
That was amazing. What an athlete.
He's such a free, and you don't expect it because he's like that. He's stocky. He's not like Krauser's lean and tall. Kovacs is stocky and massive.
Everyone we've
a monster
talked to said that he's by far the strongest man in the sport. That
I want to see him and Mark Henry just lift off. Mark Henry was the world's strongest man. I feel like Kovac's gonna be right there with him.
He's a big guy.
Yeah. So I'm interested here. I don't have a pick because I
want Kovacs. Why not?
I think you have to go with Kovacs just because of the consistency. But once again,
sure. Give me Roger Steen.
Where are they at this time of the season?
100%. That's what makes it fun. Is like you don't know. Like it's a lot easier to tell at the pre-funding classic or like after you've seen races. A lot of people haven't even run yet, so
yeah,
it's just fun,
Right.
So we're gonna go to the men's Wanamaker here now. Josh Hoey just announced he's not on this, but Hoey's gonna be there. But we also have Hobbs Kessler is racing. Yaron Naguse is going to be there. Cam Myers is competing. Yeah. So this is another.
Cam right now is the sharpest one.
He just ran a 3:48, the fastest time ever in January history.
Almost similar to like the Jessica Hull situation.
Yeah.
But once again, if any of them are running at New Balance this weekend, and Josh, Josh running the 800, but he's supposedly going for the world record.
Well, he also broke the world record in the 6, right? Earlier this year.
Yeah.
But I mean, to me, this is the race where until Yared gets beat, he's my pick because he's always running. Like he's always ready to go.
It's his race to lose.
He's always ready to go 3:46. But I mean, last year watching Kessler run 3:46 too was what like he's. Right. I feel like he's the forgotten guy, even though like
he doesn't get the respect. He doesn't get the respect. I agree with you.
He qualifies. He's the only guy to qualify in the 8 and the 15 for the Olympics 2 years ago. Like he's. Yep. I felt he was a little down last year, but he's right there. I mean, he's just as talented as the other guy. I feel that like he gets overlooked.
But he's still a kid.
He's a gamer, right? He's like 20, 21, right?
He's like his arc hopefully is still like, boy.
I think that Yared, we're going to see a big year from Yared. I think he's going to be a little more selective because he raced a lot last year. I think he's going to be a little more selective.
Try qualify. Yeah.
I agree, but I think
did a few races, if you remember, like he went from the front a couple of times.
Yes, I think we're going to see a massive year from Yared in terms of everything. I think he's pissed right now because I think people are forgetting that before Cole Hocker won the Olympics, Yared was the favorite to medal.
343.
Exactly. So I think Yaron Naguse, I think he's going to come in this year. And I think Cole's going to have a great year. I think Hobbs going to have a great year. Josh, I think they're all going to run well. I think we're going to remember that Yaron Naguse is the best middle distance runner in America. And I think he's going to let everybody know this year. I think he's going to come in.
And like I said, this is the year to make statements more than more about records than medals this whole year.
I think his mile, I think he is going to reset the American records in the 15, the mile, and possibly the 3K. I think he's just going to go and do some special things. Cause last year he ran a lot, he raced a lot. And I think letting Cole get the better of him a few times, I think is going to just drive him. So I'm seeing big things from Yared.
He didn't qualify. Like he didn't even make worlds last year.
Yeah. I'm seeing big things from Yared Naguse this year. I think he's going to reset the record books in both indoor and outdoor. I see him having a monster 2 seasons, but I'm excited.
It's a great field, man. This field's stacked.
Yeah. Every field in the freaking Millrose is stacked. Millrose is amazing right now. So we're jumping to this 3K. I mean, Lemgole and I can't say Jane's last name. Hedengren. They can't get away from each other. And this is one of people aren't talking about this rivalry that is growing here is going to go on past college into when these are two of the fastest women on the planet, which they already are, but they're just going to be dominating. So I am pumped for this. Is Jane going to get her revenge? Jeff, where do you at?
Good question. The BYU girl, by the way, is coached by Ed Eyestone.
Yep.
So, I consider one of the great runners and great coaches. He always seemed to be the kind of guy when he was running, and his coaching shows it too. He always has his athletes ready on the day.
Yep.
And he was the kind
of. We had Megan Hunter on the show. Megan Hunter, incredible year 800, silver medalist in the NCAA, and barely missed off making the Olympic team. Megan's fantastic.
Right. I thought Jane was coached by Dejit, the girl coach. No, I didn't know that.
No, not sure, but I think it's the Eyestone philosophy.
Sure.
So, but that's why we have the arguments, guys.
This race is going to be, man, that it's so close.
I can't see Doris losing.
Really?
Because here's the thing, I can't see Jane's amazing, but the way Doris runs, when she's in something like her strength is ridiculous. Like I think
we're seeing Doris,
man. Yeah, so you're saying like when she's in the zone, she just.
I think we're seeing potentially the new dominant woman coming into distance indoors because she looks like all of those classically strong African runners that we have seen just bud. And Jane's amazing. I think Jane's going to be one of the greatest American women to when she's done. But I can't until Doris gets beaten, until Jane beats her. How can we deny it? Right? She hasn't beaten her yet.
Not on track.
Not on the track. So I'm excited. This is going to be fantastic. I think out of all the races, this is going to be really fast. The 2 mile, we're going to talk about that, but I think this race is going to be a fast race. Because I think both of these ladies are ready, especially coming off of XC.
Right.
Sure. So, Dave, who do you got? I'm picking Doris in this race.
I'm going Jane. I just watching that 5K college record early on was just spectacular.
So we'll jump to this. This is an interesting race. Cooper Lukenhouse is coming into the 6, looking to break Josh Hoey's 600 record. And yeah, Will Sumner in, last year's champion. Isaiah Jewett, who just always finds himself in finals, in 800 and everything. He is going to be a runner that the running heads will remember Isaiah Jewett very fondly as a guy who was just always there, incredibly fast. He's a 144 guy. He is, just always in finals.
He's tough.
I want him to get a breakthrough, and I want him to make an American team.
He's getting older, though.
I root for Isaiah Jewett in every race, but this is Cooper.
No, he's a real
Cooper and Will.
Yeah, he is definitely a real workhorse. And once again, like I said, this is his opportunity. You can make the argument compared to everyone else. Time is not a great ally of his, and I got to do it now. Like I said, I really don't think it's not just about victories this year. It's about records.
Sure.
And, can Isaiah pop a great one? We'll see. But Cooper's only a junior in high school, man.
It's unbelievable.
He's like a 25-year-old pro.
It's unbelievable.
So what do you feel about Cooper deciding to, obviously still in high school, he didn't go pro, but what do you feel about him deciding to run against the pro field, against the grown men?
He's only running pro.
Why not throw him in
and not running in high school races?
Throw him in with the big boys, I guess.
Yeah, part of me wonders, is it too much too early? But the kid ran a 142. He looks extremely poised, and it wasn't and the way that he finished it and ran that 142 was just so impressive. I just don't know if I can pick him here because it's hard.
It's also indoor season.
He's in high school.
I know he did very well last year indoors.
He ran a 146 last year indoors as a sophomore in high school, which is
But now he's on a different realm.
I know. Yeah, it's a whole new level.
And I think one thing is, last year he was running with bright eyes. He was very ignorant and naive to what he could do, right? He didn't expect to go run a 142. Like, I think the race just carried him and he just ran it, and he showed he's that talented.
And listen,
now there's a target on his back. Cooper Lukenhouse is not just a high school kid anymore.
These older guys are like
pro field. Yeah, they know who he is.
But they're like, I don't want this young guy beating me. I
think Will Sumner is an interesting case because he did win last year. Will was on that Donovan Brazier type of track where we were seeing he was next, right, in the 800. Like, we all thought Will Sumner, and he's a fantastic runner. He's fast as hell, but he hasn't taken that full step into the 142 type of realm that we were expecting.
He was Josh Hoey. Like he was
Josh
as
Hoey, very much.
But he just hasn't taken that next leap. Yep.
So, Jeff, who you got? I'm putting you on the spot. Who's winning this?
Oh, man. I think that if the pace is not that quick, it falls into Cooper's wheelhouse, so to speak, just based on his acceleration, over the late stages of a race. But it's also 600 meters.
It's such a stupid race.
Yeah, I see guys grinding it right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. Last year it was a 74 won the race. Okay. So it's like they are flying around that track. So I'm going to
go Sumner just based on experience.
I'm also saying I think Sumner's going to
last year, right?
Like he knows how to run this race, how to run it on this track. Like
this is my house, and I own the house.
I just can't see anything else that's that much of a distinguishing factor,
right?
Except for the fact that he won it last year and he's run on this track. So that's where I'm going. Boring pick, but I don't care.
Listen, I like Sumner as well. I think Cooper is going to be there. And I think it's going to look like Cooper's going to win, but Sumner's going to have that veteran savvy. I think he'll beat him in the end.
You never, maybe.
So we're going to this. I think this is an overlooked event that's going to be a ton of fun.
I love a 1K, man. I love
1K.
that. That's such a great distance. I love the 1K.
And just look at this group. I think who's having a better few years than Sage Herta-Klecker?
He was great last year.
Fantastic.
Wiley too.
Yep. Addie Wiley there. Gemma Riki, 231. You have Sige Daguma, 156, 800-meter runner. And then even Maggie Congdon down there. This is going to be interesting. I'm pulling for Addie in this one, to be quite honest. I think Addie's going to have a good race. Jeff, what do you say?
Oh, boy. Once again, you got to see, like, if these ladies
New
are
Balances.
racing New Balance and to assess. Klecker did run cross country, though.
Yep.
Yes, she did.
Yep.
Yeah, so,
and she had a big breakthrough last year.
And respectfully, running the cross country thing, just builds your endurance. You can't earn that kind of endurance in practice.
No, you can't.
So, and 1,000 is just long enough where strength could affect speed. So, but Gemma Riki is training. She does not hide her training on social media. You see what she's doing.
Yeah.
I think she'd love to win the 1,000 here at Millrose.
And I mean, the business trip for these international runners that are coming across the pond, it's like, the Americans are here, they race here. Even if you're coming from, Colorado or whatever, you're home, right? It's America. It's a business trip coming across the pond, and these Brits love nothing more than coming over into New York City, kicking the doors in, and being able to raise the Union Jack, after that victory. Okay, that is especially the Brits, that's a sense of pride. The ones that we're the friendliest with, right? Our Brits, our Australians, New Zealanders, they love rubbing our nose in it when they can beat us, right?
They should.
They should. It's a great rivalry that we have there, and the Brits have a great history on the track too.
Based on the World Cross last week. Let's say if Klecker after 600 meters or even at 500 meters decides to go for it, her strength may take her to victory potentially.
You just got to wonder if she's done enough speed work yet for the 1K. So it's
but you can make
Addie Wiley is
argument. Maybe a lot of these others haven't done much speed work yet either as well. So
doesn't Addie Wiley have the American record?
I believe so.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. You see that 230 there, but Sige with the 156, that is speed you can't teach. 156.
You just say it on 30 seconds to that, it's 226.
That's And and the thing is Sige, again, are they in PR shape? Probably not. Are we going to see a 230? More than likely not.
Could be.
But I mean,
big meet. They are certainly ready.
The fans are going to carry him through, and I think that this is a race that's going to be better. This is one that not as many people are talking about, but this is a great field to look at.
We're going to put on this coverage, and we're every race is going to be great. It's going to be must see TV.
We'll definitely talk about. I don't know who our next guest is, but we're definitely going to talk about. We have Coach Watts coming on next week, so we will definitely be chit chatting. Probably a little bit about that, and then
we're talking about his 4x4 world record too.
No, we're not going to talk about that. It's just the greatest runner from my high school was his teammate there.
Andrew Valman,
I'm not going to, we're not going to talk about that. But speaking of some of the sprinters here, not to be overlooked, this is a great 60 and 60 hurdle field. Cordell Tinch is going to be there.
My guy.
Jamal Britt, Jordan Anthony, Akeem Blake, Marcellus Moore. Again, I'm not really, I don't want to give predictions here, but I just want to give some shine because we're talking a lot about distance and mid distance, but this is a great field for the 60. And I think this is often overlooked in indoor because the 60 is so much faster. It's not the 100. It's not as sexy, but God, this is a great field.
Really I will pick Cordell Tinch is one of my favorite athletes. His backstory from Division II Pittsburgh. I mean, he came on like gangbusters last year at the end of the year and came on really, really well. I just love that guy. The only thing that I worry about him is he's so tall that on the indoor 60 meters, he might not have enough time to get his full acceleration up.
Right.
But I just love watching him run, and he's such a humble, down to earth guy too.
Right.
And I'll go Akeem Blake in the 60.
I think I like Jordan Anthony a lot.
There's no Christian Coleman. 60 meters is his wheelhouse. So
yeah, that's true.
Oh, real quick, just bouncing away from this, Jeff, what do you think about all these great sprinters going over to the Enhanced Games. Marvin Bracey just announced that he's coming over there.
Man.
What do you? I'm like Marvin Bracey's a former guest of this show. We liked Marvin a lot. Yeah, Marvin was a really nice guy, but I'm almost disappointed that they're going and
Fred Curley.
And listen, I get it. You could talk to some people that are like, man, they're all doping anyway. Okay, whatever you want to say that's okay. I love to keep the illusion sometimes that they're not, right?
Sure. Right.
Like, you know, and
it's been such a tough war to fight for years and years and years.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's so funny because like in the major sports, when some of their athletes get busted, it's kind of like it's announced, but then like it's kind of like forgotten. You never hear it.
Or it's like 25 games. It's not 4 years.
No, but you never hear the fan angry or holding it against them when they come back. But, you know, maybe because, you know, we love our sports so much and we still think of the purity of it that, you know, it affects us in a different way.
Look at Shelby Houlihan.
I hope the
ridiculed her
goes by the wayside. But, you know, who knows? You know, like I said, that X factor of spectators out there that never follow sports, would they tune into that? And
but I don't have but we're getting very fast people. But even when they were cheating, they still weren't the best.
They still weren't winning. Yeah.
So here's the thing: if they like run
now, that they could potentially,
I mean, they can take anything now. I mean,
if they don't go run at least a 9.6, 9.7 in that 100, then it's going to be the biggest flop of an event ever, right? You know, Usain Bolt's record, the 9.58 is unhuman. The 19.19 is unhuman. Okay, like those are two things. But if they don't go 19.3, if they're not running faster than Noah Lyles, faster than some of our best sprinters already,
agree with that. If they don't shatter, and I mean shatter because we're enhanced. You know,
they're on whatever they want.
Yeah. I would have to agree with that. I would think it would be a great failure if they reach those times at the least.
You know? Like if they're not running, like if you're not running a 41-second 400, like you should be running 41-second 400s if you're that enhanced, right? Like
9.2 for the 100.
Exactly. So it's like, I don't know. Like I'm ready for it to be a disappointment because again, these gentlemen that went over, the Fred Curley and all that stuff, they were pushing their bodies to the limit. They were some of the best peak athletes. Yes, the enhancement, what is it going to get them? 0.1 more. So Marvin's going to be at 9.6. You know what I mean? Fred might get to that 9.5. Fred might get to that 9.5 number, but
you mentioned some of these athletes, and we've been around a long time. Some of them are really.
That's not nice to say, Jeff. That we've been around a long time.
Yeah, well, that's what it is. But hey, as long as we're vertical, guys. As long as we're vertical.
Wake up horizontal, able to get up vertical.
Yeah. But we meet these athletes throughout the years, and some of them are really nice and gracious and everything, and great with the fans. And then some fail a drug test, and it does. It becomes hugely disappointing to all of us.
Yeah, I mean, but you're right. Like
run is like I don't want to go off on too much of a tangent, right? But how do we deal with the legacy of Alberto Salazar?
Yeah.
And before anybody says, well, I didn't like him in the first place. No, that's not what I'm asking. What do we do with his legacy? Like what is it? And
you have to separate the runner from the coach, I think, with Alberto. I think you honestly do.
Crazy. I think, some people are generally not bad people. They just get caught up, but it's on them. Sure. It's on them.
Sure. But listen, but like you said, like in other sports, it's almost forgotten. I mean, Shelly Houlihan was ridiculed all year last year. I mean, she paid her time. She did her suspension. She came back. Like she should not have to feel like let her race. Right. I mean, she tell me about it. She's allowed to race, but like it is what it is. Like she's back. She's running.
In the team sports, I think we don't care because we're rooting for the logo more than the player. So I think it's a little bit easier there.
Well, it's other major. Bring it up because there were Yankee fans years ago who hated Barry Bonds.
And then we have Melky Cabrera.
People who cheered on A-Rod and Andy Pettitte. So, like fans, the word fan is short for fanatic.
You leave A-Rod alone.
Somebody who thinks with their heart, not with their head, emotional, gets caught up in it. So, of course, if they're our people, we're going to deny it.
I think the best comparison, though, is it's like in tennis and golf, you don't see it as much. So those are like the major individuals. But if you see it in UFC or you see it in boxing, that is a big deal. If one of those guys get caught cheating in those, I think that's comparative to track in a lot of ways. because it's so individual. If you have a guy that gets caught doping and like, Conor McGregor was a big deal. He had a no-show and that was massive for a little while. Like, I think that is like competitive, but when there's a team aspect, yeah, you're rooting for the logo, next man up, right? Disappointed. One of my favorite players got caught doping, but the logo is more important. Exactly. That guy's going to be gone in a few years.
20 other guys on the team I like.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly. So I want to go to the ladies here. Give the ladies some love for the sprinting here. Julian Alfred's headlining this group, but not to be outdone. Dinah Asher-Smith, Jasiah Sears, who really came on strong last year. Alina Hobbs is there. A bunch of former champions in the Millrose for the sprint. So it's not like Julian Alfred's going to have like a cakewalk here. And then for the hurdles, we have Danielle Williams coming over here. We have Megan Tapper is a part of this group. So Devin Charlton, like we have a good group of ladies coming here. Now, what they're not going to have is, outside of Julian, and Dina Asher, right? But you're missing Sha'Carri Richardson. Sha'Carri's a major one. You're missing, Shelly Ann is leaving a major hole when she retires officially. Like, and she's not going to be at many of these events. We might see Shelly Ann run a few, but like,
you got Jefferson in there?
Jefferson's not in there. So it's like, I will say that this is potentially, and like the men's sprinters too, the star power is not as big in these two as it is for the distance.
Races are really wide open.
Yes. But again, like
I think the year, how sharp are they? Even though we have an Olympic champion in the 60 meter, doesn't mean anything. Like where are you on February 1st? So to speak.
Yeah, and it's hard as a sprinter early season.
100%. It's all work early season. Like right now, it's all work. And actually, shout out to one of our former guests. We didn't talk about the PR earlier, but Aaron Spider Brown opened up his year running a 6.68.
Yeah.
Or 6.86 or something like in it's his PR. So shout out to Aaron. I know people love to give Spider some crap. He is a critic. Everyone doesn't always agree with Aaron says on TikTok, but at the same time, he's a 20-second guy, 9.6 guy. 6.6 guy. Like, can't deny the talent there. Yeah, so absolutely. When you're that good, sometimes you can criticize. And listen, Aaron has his way, but Aaron's right about a lot. I hate to break it to people. Aaron's right about a lot. So, and it hurts people because he's someone that's very realist within the sport. But want to give him a shout out there. But
sure.
I had the 2 mile up for the people of the men. We're going to talk about the 2 mile last because we're talking about that last.
All right.
So I want to jump to this because this is interesting for us Jersey people here.
Yes.
The Nike Invitational Girls Mile here. We're looking right in this middle section. Natasha Dudek, Blair Bartlett, Jalen Williams, the rematch of XC Nationals.
Both Nationals.
NXN.
Dudek won and Blair was second. And then 1 week later at Brooks, the same result. To me, the fact that these ladies are running this early is absolutely fantastic.
Right. But they most of them have already competed indoor season, right?
I don't think Blair has yet. But it's unbelievable that and you got to wonder, is this still just off of XC? Did they just keep going? Did they take a break? Did they, I don't know, but they're all amazingly fast. And the girls race at New Balance this week is stacked too. You got Paige Shepard in there. The girls high school cross country mile is just ridiculous.
Yeah. I don't know who's going to win this because like you just said, Dave, if their legs, they're running off these XC fumes, but they got to be on fumes a little bit, right? So are they vulnerable? Probably not. The way Natasha and Blair were running, just off tired legs, I think they're still going to run a ridiculous time.
Yeah.
And I think we'll see those two kind of gap people, but I'm excited. I'll be looking at this. The high schoolers are here to show out, and we can jump right over to the high school boys real quick because we see Brody Watton there. But the gentleman to watch right here is Andrew Burrisett. Andrew Burrisett is ridiculously fast. You have Rocco Culpepper, Kayla
guys, hasn't meet director Ray Flynn really filled up these events?
Oh my God.
It's not like there's only one event we're talking about here.
Oh my God.
There really is something for everyone at the Millrose.
It's unbelievable.
So the crazy thing is there's a really good chance we see a 4 flat this early for the men, the boys in the mile. It's like, we are going to see, this is going to be under 405. And that's ridiculous. This
if they race it. Yeah.
I think they're going to race because this is a showcase. The high schoolers are jacked up at Millrose.
Sure.
They are going to be so pumped. The pros are there. They want to show out. I think we could see damn near a 4 flat this early in the year. That would be spectacular. And the boys are there to do it. The boys are there to do it. So, and this is where we start to get these gentlemen really making their names. Like the XC season's big, but that's all a 5K. Now they start to get in their individual events. The mile is the sexy event. The 800's gotten big, but you sit there and you run a fast mile this early. I mean, Flow Track's putting you out there. City is putting out there. Like you become one of the guys. So I'm pumped for this. And I think we're going to see a fast time.
Absolutely.
I want to give some love to the pole vaulters because we don't give love to the field people enough. This is a stacked field as well. Olympic and world champion Katarina Stefanidi is in this field.
Rutgers,
Chloe Timberg, Gabriella Leon is in there. Paris Olympian Bryn King, Prefontaine champion Emily Grove. So I mean, this is
right. I mean,
a field.
It's still
Moon, right?
That's what I was gonna say. It's missing Sandy Morris and Katie Moon, but but it's still stacked.
Stacked field, still is solid field.
And the Mole Twins aren't there.
There's so much talent in this sport. Right. It's unbelievable.
Yep. So the depth is there. I want to give them some love.
Yeah.
And now here's where this is going to get interesting. I want to get your opinion. The high school boys invite 400. Quincy Wilson is highlighting.
Quincy's high school race.
It's a high school. You have Jaden DeLeon. Jaden DeLeon's fast. I like Jaden a lot. I think he's a really good runner, but
sure.
I'm actually a little disappointed to see Quincy run against the high schoolers.
I kind of like it because there were 1 or 2 races last year where he ran against high school kids and he did not win. So I still feel like he feels that he still has to prove himself at that level. I mean,
I'm sure his coaching, is explaining to him and deciding for him.
Yeah, listen, that's he's in high school, but that's not really like a high school program. Like it's I
mean, his results show otherwise. I agree.
Yeah. Is there something to be said about the difference between sprints and mid distance and long distance, right? Where at the high school level, there's a massive gap between the pros and the, high school kids, where maybe Cooper Lukenhouse disproves that, but still there's a big gap generally. We're in the sprints. Quincy can go out and run an early 46, and the winner in the men's is running a low 45, right? So it's not
Quincy just ran a minute flat for a 500. That is
absolutely
lazy.
It's insane. But I'm just saying, when you're looking at it from the coach's perspective, does Quincy truly have to go against the pros right now in this early in order to get that out of the way?
Let him win. Let him have some fun. Win the Millrose Games. I mean, he's legally allowed to run against high school kids if that's what he wants to do. I'm not going to back.
Yeah, like I said, I'm sure his coaches, are looking at this.
Right, but yes, he would have better comp. I would love to see him in that 600. He ran it last year. I mean, he finished last, but he ran it. I mean, he still ran it was fast, but it's, so I would like to see him there, but you know what? Maybe at some point he's still a high school kid and he just needs a race against kids his own age where there's not as much, although there's probably more pressure actually, because
there is, he has to win.
Like he has to win.
You'd have to think that the other high school kids in here are very motivated.
Oh, they are ready to go.
And they're all 46, 47 second guys, 45 second guys. So it's not like he's running against scrubs.
No.
So, I mean, if he stumbles a little, he's going to lose. And again, these high schoolers, they can say forever they beat Quincy Wilson in a race. Now, here's the thing. In the end, if Quincy goes out and eventually splits a 42 for us in the 4x4, nobody cares what he does today. But we can criticize it a little bit, okay?
That's correct.
All right, so we're going to get down to the last 2 fields here for the Millrose that we're going to highlight because they haven't fully announced all the fields yet. These are just the ones that they've announced.
Right.
So I think this is a really interesting field in the 800.
Very interesting field.
Oof.
Wow.
Donovan Brazier coming off of I think one of the best comeback seasons of all time last year.
Sure.
I don't think it's hard to say that. Bryce Hoppel.
He's not unfamiliar with Millrose.
No, he's not.
Familiar with Millrose. I think you have Bryce Hoppel, who's looking and trying to remind everybody that he was the top USA 800 meter runner.
I think he had a little bit of a down year last year, Bryce.
Down year running 142s.
I know.
How could you have a down year running 142s against the best in the world?
Because he ran a 141. He finished 4th, which is even crazier to run a 141 to finish 4th. But I don't know.
But a really good field. I can't say his name. John from McPhillips. Sorry, I'm not good with Irish names. They don't spell things. They spell things weird. 142, 1.5 there. Like, I mean, we're talking about Donovan Brazier. There's some highlights there.
Think about
Muhammad Atakwi is a monster.
We are at an indoor, like the slow guy is 144.
It's wild.
Don't forget, Bryce has won here too.
Yes, he has.
Yes.
He likes it here.
Yeah.
And I mean, don't count out Solomon. Colin Solomon's fast too. Again, like you said, 144.
Right.
This is going to be a very good field. I think this is going to be a fun race. I don't think we're going to see 142 this early, but 144 is feasible. I think we could see 144.
144 and possibly 143, maybe.
I think we'll get
depending on how they go out. Depending on how they go out, if they go out and they're coasting at a 50, then I think we're seeing a 144. But if they're dipping into that 49 low range, then yeah, we might see something real special.
Right.
I'm going Donovan here, man.
He is the veteran.
He's coming on a sugar high after last year, man. Like,
listen, I mean, like, how many people thought he was never going to run again? What was it, like 3-4 years?
Oh, I know. No, he was
and then
wilderness, man.
I personally questioned his mental toughness. I really did. I did.
But the last year, just seeing his joy and his passion for the sport was awesome. Like he was one of my favorite stories last year.
He's a great guy.
I heard nothing but great things about him.
Like many of these athletes, signs every autograph for every kid. Engages the kids. So, like you definitely want to root for Donovan, but Bryce is of the same mold.
Yeah.
Yes.
If I ever get the chance to talk to Donovan, I will apologize to him and tell him I doubted him and I questioned his mental toughness, and he can tell me I'm a jerk.
A lot of people did.
You can tell me I'm a jerk. I will happily accept it. But listen, any athlete that has that story, especially when they have the USA plastered across their chest, I will be rooting for him in a heartbeat. And listen, I hope he goes and gets a world record now. I hope he comes back and fulfills his apparent looking like it was going to be his destiny at some point. So I'm excited for that. So now we're going to get to the finale here. The race, I think everybody's looking forward to, man.
My goodness.
The 2 mile. And again, how awesome is it that all these guys decided to make the 2 mile sexy, right? Who makes the 2 mile sexy instead of the Wanamaker? But man, I am pumped for this.
And you also have guys here who ran in the XC race, Graham Blanks, Parker. Yep. So you got to wonder, where are they in terms of, that's why they
strength. And
let's go through this list real quick. George Beamish, Graham Blanks, Grant Fisher, Cole Hocker, Drew Hunter, Josh Kerr, Edwin Kurriga, Kai Robinson, Ethan Strand, Cooper Tier, Jake Whiteman, Parker Wolf. I mean, some people out of their element here, right?
Whiteman intrigues me the most because he's usually an 800-mile guy.
Yeah.
So for him to go up is pretty cool.
Jake is moving up, and Jake, as some of us are aware, has been under the radar a little bit. Although last year he had a great year again.
He did.
Does he keep the hunger going? The one guy who really intrigues me here, he's still young.
Drew Hunter?
He's still a young kid. Drew Hunter.
Yes.
Drew's been coming on so strong.
You guys can correct me, right? He finished 4th in his Olympic trials race and 4th.
He did. He was just out.
Right?
He's kind of had
those setbacks. Did it make him more hungry? Is he more hungry now to hey, I'm going to push? And how old is Drew? 28?
I mean, I think younger than that. I think Drew may be 25, 26.
No, he's not. I think it's right, but I don't think he's that old. He was that high school star. He was amazing, and I
know that there were some bumps in the road with
a lot. Yeah.
28, you're right.
But it seems like with the ASICS sponsorship and things like that going forward,
he's got Spivey, man. He's got Jim Spivey.
Yes, he does. So I'm interested because you have some guys that are typically longer. You have Kai Robinson, who's typically longer. Grant Fisher is obviously has shown his range, but Graham Blanks is longer. This is the perfect setup for Cole Hocker. Cole Hocker might be the smartest setup guy because Cole Hocker has been so good in the 15-mile and the 5K.
Yep.
This is just right in the middle. Is Cole setting himself up to go and win again? The guy just wins. And you're looking at this field.
Which is funny because last year in this meet, he got out kicked in the 3K. Remember, Grant, he went by, Cole actually took it early. One of the best races that I've ever seen. Like Cole took it and Grant just said, that's a guy. I want to go real quick. Grant Fisher is a guy that I think last year he was coming off the Olympics and he said, you know what? I'm going to sacrifice the end of this year. I'm going to go for the money. And God bless him. And he went to Grand Slam, and the dude never got paid. And it's a shame because I think he's like, listen, like I had my year where I got double bronze. I'm gonna go out and try to make some money this year, and he had to be ready earlier. So I think that definitely.
Well, I also felt that affected Josh Kerr as well.
100%, and then to not get paid.
Come back now, whatever motivates them.
Don't count out Grant. That's all I'm saying.
Those are just setbacks next year. But if I'm correct, Jake, I believe, is racing in Boston this weekend too.
I believe he is.
So, like, to see where Jake is, in the race this weekend, and
maybe
other guys too, whoever's there, it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah. So real quick, we're talking about everyone else, but let's look right there. Josh Kerr, 2-mile indoor world record holder. Yeah. We haven't really mentioned Josh that much. We kind of mentioned in passing. Do you think he entered this going, I don't care about all you. I'm the record holder. Like, you guys are going to chase me.
He's confident. He's certainly confident.
Oof. And it's so funny because Kerr does not have the build to me of that 15. Like, he's like tall, but he's stocky. He's not that skinny type of guy. He has more of a build of like an 800, 400 guy to me. And like just the way he is, just to see the way he can run. Like, I'm not counting out Kerr. This field is going to be, you want to talk about an early fast race?
And I think they're going to go for it. I think
they're going for a world record here. 100%.
Millrose, they always go for it. Like this is not going to be your Grand Slam 5K or 3K.
Kerr's not going to let them.
Or your no. They're running.
And they're going to have pacers. They're going to have, and they're going to go.
Yep. So Jeff, you're around these guys because you go to a lot of these events. How excited are these guys in these types of races, knowing, pardon my French, this is a no bullshit race. We're just going to go. We're not worried about tactics. We're not, none of us wants to get out front, right? But they're going to have a pacer 100%. So how excited are these guys to know everyone's going for it? We're just going to open up our legs and have a good time.
Oh no, I think they're really excited. And, the old story of like, to put on the singlet, whether I'm representing my country or my sponsorship
or myself
on the line, and most of us know that like training can be very solitary. Even if we're a group of 5 or 6 people training in Flagstaff or somewhere like that, there's no crowds cheering. There's none of that, know. And when you arrive at the armory with the crowd, a knowledgeable crowd as well.
Very.
They'll know, but you really have some killers in here.
Grant
Fish is a killer. Cole Hocker's a killer.
And how often is Ethan Strand and Parker? How often are Ethan Strand and Parker Wolf in races that you're not talking about them?
Yeah. Well, they're and listen, if it's close, I'm not counting out Georgie Beamish, man. He can roll.
No.
Oh yeah,
he can roll, man.
Yeah.
See, I would love.
And also, Graham Blanks is like the under the radar guy.
I just worry because like that XC race was like that takes a lot. I mean, he'll have 2 weeks, so
all Graham does is win things.
There's a lot of hard stuff. It definitely depends how they recover. The one thing I'll throw out to you, like one of the knocks on the Worlds was that guys like Grant Fisher, Cole Hocker, Drew Hunter didn't even try to go on the team. Whereas I think, Dave might remember, years and years ago, like the Brits, the Americans, sometimes you had guys who made the team who were not in, they were top milers, top 800-meter guys. Right. They ran on a team because they were representing the United States. And it might have been the 4th finisher on the team or the 6th finisher, but they got it in, so to speak, And I think Fisher, Hocker, Hunter, if they had, decided to run the cross-country stuff, I love
to watch Grant.
I think it would have been a good benefit for them. I don't think they would have won, but I think at the same time, like, if they finished 3rd for the Americans or 4th for the Americans, I don't think that's such a terrible thing, so to speak.
I mean, like if you think about it, like we didn't have any of our so-called top guys, and we were still 4th as a team.
Yeah. And Jim Spivey always says, like whenever you do a great workout or some kind of build-up race, he goes, "That's money in the bank."
Yep. We heard Jim say that on the show.
That's right. Yeah. One day you're gonna make a withdrawal, and the money will be there.
Yeah.
And like I said, these guys can do time trials, but like to get into a 5K road race or to get into the world cross country, the crowds are around as well, and you're wearing your flats and stuff. It's just a mental thing, And
I think 10K of spectators.
Beamish was at Worlds, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think 10,000 spectators may convince him that if it ever goes back to go. I really do. If they're still in their prime in 2029, 2028 when it comes back, which they will be, I think after seeing 10K spectators, I think those guys might go.
I'm hoping. And, as I mentioned before with Jessica Hull, the fact that you're out there already, even if she wasn't in peak shape, just going through that, absorbing the crowds, Jim Spy, that's money in the bank.
Yep. Absolutely.
So
this is going to be interesting.
Guys, that's why we run the races. The three of us and all our fans and friends and pals out there to talk. But at the end of the day, once the gun goes off, the talk is over.
Yeah.
Right?
So this
Alex, who do you got, Alex?
Who do I got? Wow. In this race, I can't go against Cole. This is just set up for Cole to win. The way that the event is and the field. And the thing is with Cole Hocker, he's the guy that when he sees this type of field, he knows they're going to pull him through and he's going to be in a good spot to kick past him.
But he also proved last year that he can run from the front too now.
Exactly. So I think, and listen, the guy's a world and Olympic champion. And how can you deny him at this point? I know Grant is, I think he's that mantle of a best American distance runner. Cole just said, hold my drink, right? You're not. You're not a world champion. You're not an Olympic champion. Your bronzes are pretty. I got gold. So it's like, I think that Cole I'm not going against Cole.
That Grant just runs really well here. And,
Grant's amazing.
He beat him last year in a classic race.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Kerr. I'm since you went Cole, I'm going to go Grant.
Interesting. What do you got, Jeff?
Oh boy.
And no one's picking Josh, which is amazing.
Oh, there's only three of us. There's only three of us. I mean, he was my next pick.
Josh could be the guy who's silently lurking.
100%.
He's working.
He's Josh not silent though.
Media, but
he's not silent, right?
He's more of a in the dark kind of guy.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
If we didn't even talk about Kurt,
I want to see what Jake Whiteman does in Boston this weekend, and then I can definitely make a call on it. But as I always said, Hocker does seem to possess what we call the winning mind. He has won at every level, high school, Foot Locker, right? Going forward, win.
And he's won at multiple events too. Like he showed his range.
You're not just happy being at the Millrose Games. You want to win, and there's a difference between that.
Sure.
And,
he's not there for
if you had it, they'd all medalists, and they're not.
Right. I can't not pick him though. I have the man bun going. I got to pick him.
Listen,
buns unite, right? We
got
to do it together.
Cole Hocker is not there because he's getting paid to be there. He wants to win.
No, of course.
So Jeff, here's an idea, and Dave, I really think they should start making special jerseys with the country for Millrose for the big races, just specific Millrose kits, and they should wear their countries. Not for every race, but for the Wanamaker, for the two. Like, I feel like that would be so cool to just have like a mini world event here, because you know what? It is for the spectator. God, it's so much more fun when you have a team.
I would agree with that, but the economics with the agents and the shoe companies.
Let them stick their logo on there. Like, make a deal where they can stick their sponsor, but it is a specific Millrose kit for the nation. I think that'd be cool. Amazing.
Right. Cool. But playing devil's advocate, and Nike is the sponsor of the Armory.
Yes.
And the swoosh, I just
just like this
company's saying to the other one, put USA on yours. Right. I can't see the major shoe company sponsor saying, hey, that they could put it on theirs. Listen, these are great ideas, but then again, let me throw one thing out here, right? Why in the world do we have all these indoor national high school championships by the shoe companies?
Moolah.
Right? Why do we have? Now it's growing in cross country, and it's going on an outdoor. I mean, we know parents and coaches, they'll fly to one shoe company's national championship, and then 3 days later they're flying to the other one so they can win a national championship there. And from what you could tell, there's no degree of cooperation with the big businesses, but businesses about competition, right?
Yep.
So, that's what they do. It's,
which is nice that when they get to college, it funneled in.
Really make a lot of sense. But from the business acumen, I don't think it's going to happen.
No, it's not. But that's part of the problem is that these companies can't work together and it.
Nah. The last time, as you know, like when Nike, I guess it was 2016 for the marathon trials, they came out with the super shoe. Yep. And, and all the other shoe companies told their sponsored athletes, Nike's giving away for free. You know what? Wear them anyway this time.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you might make the team.
Hey, listen, you could say what you want about Nike, but Nike resets the game every time. Oh. And everyone is chasing Nike at all times. Because I remember when back when I was in high school, it was the Zoom Milers and the Nike Frees. And everyone sat there and had to keep up. The Zoom Milers were the first miler shoe made for just us that were aggressive like a sprint shoe. They put you on the balls of your feet while having enough cushion not to kill your arch and your heel. Like it was now you put on a miler and people's feet are like burning in pain, right? Then it was amazing. And then you had the Nike Frees with like the slice technology. Like they always reset the game and everybody's chasing. That's how it is.
I mean, however, though, you can make the argument Adidas kind of took a little bit of the lead last year in the road racing shoe biz. Sure. But that also makes
I like Adidas
motivated now to ASICS is coming out with something.
Yep.
You hear all these things.
On has a bunch
Hoka,
of stuff.
They're always
Wars or
Brooks.
Total unique thing. Yeah. Like it's very, very amazing. And, and you could argue Nike took a hit over the past few years, but now under their new CEO, seems like they're starting to put their ducks in a row, so to speak.
Even Puma's coming out with these crazy super shoes now.
Oh, really quick, before we go, did I see that Quincy got a signature shoe?
I don't know.
Possibly.
As a high school kid?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Talk about putting a target on your back.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, why not?
I don't blame him. I don't blame him.
I think I didn't get a chance to look it up. Maybe we'll talk about it next time, Dave. But I think Quincy Wilson got a signature shoe, and I want to say it's about damn time.
Maybe we can ask
runners should have signature shoes.
Maybe we can ask Quincy Watts about Quincy Wilson.
We could potentially ask Quincy Watts about Quincy Wilson. But
funny,
Jeff,
Quincy.
Thanks so much for coming on, brother.
So I can go now, right? Because I'm ready to go to sleep. Read my new book. That was
there you go.
Lyle, yes, a great book.
Looks really amazing.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't realize that the great Coach Wetmore is a Jersey guy.
100%.
Oh, like people. Oh, Colorado.
No,
he was a Jersey guy.
And I
from Jersey.
Time like
those Bernard teams were
83 in this area. The best high school milers were Mike Starr, Miles Irish, Jeff Van Wee, John Carlotti, Charlie Marsala. And these guys were always battling, on the wooden boards of Madison Square Garden.
Yep.
And it's funny because when Lyle did send me his book, Lyle Smith, he said, he goes, well, I'm from Bernardsville, and I immediately typed in John Carlotti.
Yeah. Oh, listen, they had some. I mean, one of the greatest Penn relays that I've ever seen was them in Willingboro.
Oh. What's funny though?
They actually tied in 10 flat back in the. It was unbelievable.
What's funny, if you talk to Lyle and we had him on the show, you would think Lyle was a scrub because he did not put himself in any of the realm. Lyle's one of the best runners in Jersey history.
Yeah,
he's fantastic, and his son is doing awesome stuff over at.
He's on Niwot
right now. Yeah, really good, fast over there. So. And the thing is, like, I really think that book that you have right there, Blood, Sweat, and Spikes, A Wetmore Way, is going to become the Running with the Buffaloes, Once a Runner types of books, where that book is going to have legs for a very long time. You're going to have this book. Coaches are going to sit there and they're going to have that athlete going, hey, read this book. I think you'll get a lot out of it. And it's going to be one of those books that are in running parlance now forever. And I'm happy Lyle wrote it. I'm pumped that we got a chance to interview him and we consider him a friend of the show. So
to Lyle this week quite a bit about a bunch of things.
Yeah. So shout out to Lyle. Jeff, thank you so much for jumping on.
The weekend of February 28th, we have the USATF Indoor National Championships at Ocean Breeze.
Yes.
That whole weekend. And I believe next week, the Ocean Breeze Invitational is getting a World Athletics silver rating.
Shout out to Lauren Pomerano. There we go.
And
Lauren.
And we're going to see Mass on track and field there.
On there next week. And if
I will be there.
I could be wrong, but if you want to go to that Ocean Breeze Invitational next week, I think it's $20 a head.
Ooh, okay.
More expensive.
I'm going. I'm actually bringing my high school team there.
That's great. That's a great place to meet these athletes.
Well, because all we do here is we run
the bubble,
Tom's River bubble, which is fine, but it's flat, and then we go to Ocean Breeze. It's like 1/4-inch spikes, bank track.
Gorgeous facility, just a perfect track.
And the facility just celebrated their 10th anniversary.
Yeah, beautiful.
They do a great job there. Once again, similar to Tallahassee, the base of operational people at Ocean Breeze are just unbelievable.
And on top of that, we had, Coach McCafferty on last week, and he flat out said Ocean Breeze is his favorite indoor venue to bring his team. And that's, with BU existing, with the Armor existing, with New Balance existing. Listen, the indoor track wars in the Northeast right now is the best for the runners, the coaches, and the athletes, because as they all get better, the one thing about indoor, and we'll let you go in a minute, but the one thing about indoor is the old thing was, I used to tell athletes, I've never run it before, what's the best advice? If you're a distance runner, don't try to breathe. It's not going to work. Just race, right? You'll get that burn in 2 seconds. With the way Ocean Breeze is, New Balance, it doesn't matter. The way that they pump in the air is so good. It's like running outdoor. You don't get that until later in the race. It's amazing.
Square Garden cough. Right. Raymond Coughlin, those guys all got years ago.
That was my Jersey City Armory cough.
Yeah, but then again, back then people were smoking there while everybody was running.
I got bubble cough now.
Those people smoking
cigarettes.
So everyone. So I want everyone to go visit RunBlogRun. Because let's pull that up, RunBlogRun, because you will find Mr. Benjamin there writing his articles if it wants to load.
Along with a lot of other great writers.
Sure. Along with a lot of other fantastic writers.
And I've been with Larry Eater now since 1989.
We have to have Larry on. What are we doing? We have to have Larry
on. Yeah.
What are we doing here? So, Larry
has a Facebook thing every day called Coffee with Larry. And
everyone should go watch that.
He opines about the sport from his experience and his philosophies and everything. And it's never boring, that's for sure. But the one thing about RunBlogRun, which is great, we do cover not just the current athletes, historical pieces, sneaker reviews, book reviews. We do try our best to cover all the facets of whatever sport.
There you are, Jeff.
Yeah, there I am with Craig Virgin at Tallahassee last week. Yeah.
And you cover you don't just cover the world record holders, you had a great piece on Eric Holtz, Robbie and Josette, it's a very humanistic approach as well.
Right. And listen, we're all doing this because we want to inspire the next generation.
Sure.
Yes.
We love the sport. We like to hope that the younger people will have the same drive and stuff. And they do. Some of them do. They have maybe they could be crazier than us one day. But
let's hope.
Let's hope. If we could turn one kid on to the sport, I think that's a home run.
Absolutely.
So go visit RunBlogRun, read Jeff's, read everyone there. You'll get some great track and field insight. You work with Staten Island now as well.
SILive.com. I do a monthly column called On the Run. And once in a while I put a story in there with a local kind of link or some sort.
And we got the gala coming up in October and stuff, right?
Yep. If anybody wants to read, the other day I published the January monthly column, and the major topic is, can Staten Island sustain a running store? We don't have one.
Really?
We had one in the 80s.
We have a bunch here in Jersey.
Yep. We had one in the first boom time, 1970 and 80, early 90s. And you're going to laugh. The store was called Runner's World. How they got away with it, I do not know.
Okay.
They did. And the store did very well, but eventually economics drove them out. And since 1993, if you want running shoes fit on you by people who know what to do, you have to go to Jersey, you got to go to Brooklyn, you got to go to Manhattan.
Wow, that's surprising.
Yeah, and
Dave, I think we found our business venture. Let's go.
Hey,
population
let's get Fleet Feet there, man.
Exponentially, we're up to almost 700,000 people here.
Fleet Feet or an outpost? Let's get Craig. Craig, make the outpost too. Bring it up there. Let's go. But all right, everyone.
And a couple of familiar names in the article. I spoke with Bill Allert, who owned one of the old Athletic Attic stores in Brooklyn. Athletic Attic was started by Marty LaCourie many years ago, became a multi-300 store chain. And I also spoke to a guy you guys should be very familiar with. I spoke to the man who I always feel really embodies New Jersey running track and field for years on all levels, Dean Shantz.
Oh, yeah.
Dean Shantz.
One of our,
absolutely.
We need to have Dean on, man. He's a legend.
Dean gave us great observations, can it be done? Can it be done? And, he said you have to have a passion for it, and you got to expect to go into debt a little while.
Sure.
And it does become a 24/7.
Yep.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So, like you're at the meets, and as a young runner in the '80s, whenever I went to a Jersey road race, I always saw Dean and his store at the time, Sneaker Factory, was like all over the place.
Yes.
So, and Dean's greatest thing, he used to put on a race called the Milburn Spring Run at South Mountain Reservation Park, a 2-mile 10K race in March. You ran the race was over. You went down to the store for the awards ceremony.
That's smart.
How smart is that?
That's
it was a
promo.
He made deals with beer companies. And so there was 300 people there. In the world of business, you figure 100 people are going to buy something, right?
You don't realize how spoiled you are. You really don't, because we have the Outpost, we have Runners High, we have Miles Ahead right around us in our area. Three amazing stores.
Factories, I think there's 3 of them.
Yeah. I have Fleet Feet right by me over here. Like, we are spoiled and we don't realize the things that we have. So
yeah. But like I said, I like to ask the readers, if you have the time, go on SI Live on the Run. Can Staten Island, sustain a running store at this point?
Yeah, absolutely. So, Jeff, as always, thank you very much. Go follow him on Instagram at Jeff Benjamin's Running World, and if you go search him on Facebook, you'll find him, Jeff Benjamin.
Or just search any famous track athlete, and you'll see a picture of Jeff next to him.
I'm very lucky. Almost all of them have opened their doors to me, and
this community is unreal.
Yeah.
We've been fortunate to that.
Inclusive sport with these athletes. It really is.
So if you want to, we appreciate everyone that watched, wherever you watched from, X, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Kick. Make sure you follow us, smash the like button, all that good stuff, and go follow us on the socials as well. We will be back next week. We have the great Quincy Watts that will be joining us, so we're excited for that. Yes, we are pumped for that. So thank you very much, everyone. We will be back next week. So long, everyone.
Have a good night.